Get ready for some unbelievable baseball action. The Chicago White Sox exploded in a thrilling 10-inning showdown against the Chicago Cubs, and Edgar Quero was the hero we've been waiting for. We break down how Quero drove in the winning run with a massive 2-run home run in the final inning, a moment that will be talked about for years. This is the story of how the White Sox pulled off an incredible comeback and what it means for their season. After showing incredible promise in the minors, we explore why the front office is now facing a tough decision about how to utilize this new prospect capital before the winter deadline hits. And finally, we wrap up with the massive momentum shift in the game and the future of the Cubs' pitching pipeline. From Edgar Quero's game-winning blast to the high-stakes decisions facing the Cubs' front office, this has been a night of pure baseball drama. Don't miss a second of this analysis. Stay tuned right here for all the latest and biggest stories. Noi Dung Kai Tight. The Chicago White Sox clinched a dramatic victory over the Chicago Cubs on Sunday, May 17, 2026, securing a 9-8 win in a thrilling 10-inning contest. The decisive moment arrived in the bottom of the 10th inning when Edgar Quero delivered a game-winning 2-run home run, sending fans into delirium at Rate Field. And the victory was a surprising triumph, highlighting the performance of unexpected players rather than established stars. While Munetaka Murakami and Cubs firebrand Pete Crow Armstrong were not the focus, the win was attributed to the exceptional swings of the season from several unexpected heroes, including pitchers, vendors, and fans. And the game itself was a back-and-forth affair. Outfielder Tristan Peters played a crucial role early on, hitting a pitch over the wall in the 8th inning to give the White Sox a 7-4 lead. 2 innings later, catcher Edgar Quero stepped up, grounding out to walk the game-winning run off Ryan Rollison. The White Sox's recent performance has been exceptional, averaging over a run per game more than last year, boasting nearly twice the home runs, and an OPS over 100 points higher. This surge in performance has raised questions about the expected contributions of key players like Yoan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, and Luis Robert Jr. And Quero's offensive output leading up to the game had been underwhelming, and there was noticeable fan preference for injured catcher Kyle Teal. Meanwhile, Tristan Peters, who hails from Manitoba, Canada, has carved out a unique path in professional baseball, moving through various levels, including a stint with the Savannah Bananas and a brief, challenging experience in the majors with the Rays in 2025, before being traded to the White Sox. Peters, now 26, achieved his first major league home run during this game, describing the feeling as incredible and unprecedented. And Quero had watched the first 2 games from the bench, while manager Will Venable opted not to use him as the regular catcher with Teal sidelined. Despite his personal struggles with batting average, Quero expressed immense happiness, stating, "Just happy for me, for the team, for everybody. Just happy because we won the series, too." And Peters emphasized the importance of playing for the fans, calling it an honor. The unexpected nature of the heroes' contributions underscored the electrifying atmosphere of the game, cementing this as a memorable moment for the Chicago White Sox. Chicago Cubs pitcher Jameson Taillon is actively seeking adjustments following a high home run outing against the White Sox on Saturday at Rate Field, where he surrendered a home run to Carlson Montgomery. Taillon acknowledged the high volume of home runs, noting that while he has historically given up numerous homers, the current attention from media and social platforms has heightened the scrutiny. Taillon described the challenge as one of limiting home runs, suggesting a strategic shift in pitch selection rather than a complete overhaul of his approach. He indicated that while his current methods have been successful, he needs to explore ways to better manage the outcome of his pitches. Specifically, he mentioned adjusting his arsenal by throwing more fastballs to left-handed batters and varying the pitch selection to keep hitters off balance. I just think for me it's like not to be scared of throwing in the zone, but let's move their eyes around, let's throw fastballs in, let's make them think about the cutter, slider, curve. Let's make them think about everything, Taillon stated, emphasizing the need to challenge hitters' focus. The performance has placed Taillon in a difficult statistical position, leading the majors in home runs surrendered across 9 starts over 50.2 innings, a rate deemed unsustainable for a pitcher on a contending team. This follows a season where Taillon has allowed 20 or more home runs in each of the last 7 seasons. In related roster moves, the Cubs sent right-hander Javier Assad to AAA Iowa with the goal of developing him as a starter. The team also made roster changes, including selecting the contract of left-handed reliever Ty Blatch and placing reliever Hunter Harvey on the 60-day injured list to create roster flexibility. Kaleb Thielbar is expected to be activated for the upcoming game against the Brewers. The Cubs are set to face Brewers phenom Jacob Misiorowski on Tuesday, a right-hander known for his high fastball velocity, averaging 99.6 mph and throwing pitches exceeding 103 mph against the Yankees earlier this month. The Chicago White Sox secured a dramatic 9-8 victory over the Chicago Cubs in a thrilling 10-inning rubber game during their first crosstown series this season. The decisive moment came in the bottom of the 10th inning when Edgar Quero delivered a game-ending two-run home run, driving a 95.5 mph fastball from Ryan Rollison to center field for his first homer of the year. Quero finished the contest with 3 hits and 3 RBIs, a strong performance compared to his previous 15 games, where he went 4 for 37. The White Sox's offense was bolstered by Andrew Benintendi, who went 3 for 3, and Miguel Vargas, who drove in 2 runs. Tyler Davis was credited with the win, pitching 3 outs in front of a sold-out crowd of 38,608. The game featured several key plays, including Tristan Peters' first career home run in the 8th, which gave the White Sox a 7-4 lead, and a tying 3-run drive by Michael Conforto in the 9th inning. For the Cubs, Michael Busch had a strong outing, hitting his 4th home run, extending his on-base streak to a career-high 18 games with a 379-foot drive. Alex Bregman also contributed with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. The Cubs ultimately lost the game for the 6th time in 8 games. The White Sox offense continued to contribute throughout the game, with Benintendi hitting an RBI double in the bottom half and the team adding 2 more runs in the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 9th, Miguel Vargas hit a drive to right center that resulted in a tying 2-run double, preventing the Cubs from securing the win. Looking ahead, the Cubs will begin a 3-game series against Milwaukee, with Shota Imanaga starting the opener. Meanwhile, the White Sox will face a 3-game set at Seattle, featuring Noah Schultz and Brian Wu as starters. The Chicago Cubs are facing significant pitching challenges this season, with several key arms sidelined due to injury, including Cade Horton's season-ending issues, Justin Steele's rehab setback from elbow surgery, and Matthew Boyd's torn meniscus requiring surgery. The bullpen has also struggled, leading the team to sign former White Sox closer Liam Hendriks to a minor league deal. Amidst these injuries, the focus has shifted to the organization's farm system, as the front office seeks up-and-coming talent to bolster the roster or utilize as trade assets. While the Cubs' farm system is traditionally known for developing hitting talent, 2 pitching prospects are beginning to garner significant attention. The most prominent is right-hander Kaleb Wing, drafted in the 4th round last year and recently transitioning to pitching. Baseball America praised Wing's early season performance, highlighting his elite 4-seam fastball and changeup, describing it as a 60-65 pitch. Although Wing has only made 2 starts and struck out 14 batters, he remains a long-term prospect, currently playing in the Arizona Complex League. Another rising name is 23-year-old righty Brooks Caple, drafted in the 9th round in 2024. Caple has made a notable impact, striking out 29.9% of his opponents in his first 5 starts and earning a promotion to Double-A, where he pitched 3 2/3 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts in his debut. Fangraphs has recently ranked Caple ahead of Wing as the 9th prospect in the Cubs farm system. However, the front office, led by President of Baseball Operations Jed Hoyer, faces a strategic dilemma. Neither prospect is immediately expected to impact the major league club this year. This creates a decision point for the front office regarding how to utilize this prospect capital. The Cubs' current system is heavily invested in young hitting talent, with players like Moises Ballesteros and Matt Shaw performing at the big league level. Pitching depth, however, remains thin, despite Jackson Wiggins being a consensus top 100 prospect. The emergence of Caple and Wing provides new options, but the front office must decide whether to pursue an impact starter like Freddie Peralta or retain these young arms ahead of a potential free agency period for players like Shota Imanaga and Jameson Taillon. Ultimately, the situation presents a favorable scenario for the organization. Being torn between developing top prospects and using them in blockbuster trades is preferable to lacking the necessary talent to secure a major deal.